So moving on to fractions as percentages, as long as you always remember when you see the word percent or the sign percent, we're just talking about out of 100. Throughout all of these lessons, we've got 2 weeks on this. As long as you remember that the percentage is out of 100, then you can answer any of these questions. So if you have a question which is not out of 100, if you have a fraction which is not out of 100, all you've got to do is change it to 100 first. And in Key Stage 2, in Year 6, Year 7, Year 8 and Year 9 as fact as well, you won't get anything particularly difficult, so you'll always get numbers which can turn into 100 quite easily. There's 100 dots here. This is another thing that we've got to remember about percentages. What fraction of the array is just a list, is red? Well, these are all in 10, so 10, 20, 30. So 30 of them are red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them, 70 of them, pardon me, are yellow. So that means that if it's out of 100, then 30% are going to be red, 70% are going to be yellow. Now this is the important question here. It says, what do you notice about the two percentages? Well, 100% is 30 plus 70. Okay, so when we're talking about things which are already out of 100, this is already out of 100, this is already out of 100, it's dead easy because remember percent just means out of 100. So 40 out of 100 is 40%, 65 out of 100 is 65%. However, but what about half? Well, if you wanted to help yourself, you could colour in half of that first and then count up how many of them you had, because these are all out of 100. Another way of thinking about it is, well, is there another way I can think about easily turning that into out of 100? How many times do I have to times 2 by to get to 100? Remember we did this many a time. Well, I times 2 by 50, because 50 by 2 is 100, so I'll do the same with the top. I'm going to times the top by 50 as well. And 1 times 50 is 50. So I got 50 out of 100. Remember, we've got 2 out of 100, so we know it's 50%. Same as this one. You could either colour in 7 of the bars and then count out how much you had, because there's 10 rows or 10 columns, whichever way you wanted. Or you could think, well, how do I change that to 100? Well, this is basic place value. I just need to times it by 10. So I'll times my 7 by 10 as well. Get 70 out of 100, which is 70%. Okay, so for all of these remaining questions, like I said, they will all be fractions where you can change the bottom number into 100 dead easily. There we go, 10 changes into 100, 20, 50 and 25. They're all numbers that you can multiply by another number and get to 100 easily without using decimals or more than one step. So work your way through them. Once you get to converting fractions to percentages, remember it's exactly the same. Quarter, hopefully, if you remember from yesterday, you should just know what a quarter is. If you don't know what a quarter is as a percentage, just learn it. Same as a half. If you don't know what a half is as a percentage, just learn it. And if you don't know what 3/4 is as a percentage, just learn it. You can work them out, obviously, by changing the 4 into 100, the 2 into 100, and so on. But it's important that you learn these off by heart. What 1/4 is, what 1/2 is, and what 3/4 are as percentages and as decimals. It's important that you just know it. If you can't remember, go back to the instructions in yesterday's lesson, and I wrote it there for you. Okay, I'll see you at 12 o'clock if you need any help.